Jalen Hurts is going to wear a special helmet at the Senior Bowl, and other notes we got to talk about after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You got to help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I'm not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, we need to talk about Jalen Hurts and other notes from the Senior Bowl, but start with Hurts is going to wear a special helmet at the Senior Bowl. You'll know from watching Senior Bowls past that one of the cool parts of this showcase is seniors that are going into the NFL draft get to wear the helmet that they wore in college to really represent who they are and where they went to school. And it's free advertising for the school, but also it gives fans like myself, like you, a sense of pride about how many or who is representing our program at the Senior Bowl, which is broadcast on network television, right? Well, with Jalen Hurts, he's special. He's special because he began his career at the University of Alabama, where, among other things, he led them to the 2017 National Championship. Tua Tagovailoa won it in the second half. The start went to Jalen. He has been a big part of Alabama and what they represent and Nick Saban's dynasty as what I believe is the greatest college football coach of all time. And Hurts was able to do some things that no other player before him had done. And I sincerely appreciate that. Set records at Alabama. And then when it was clear after a year of backing up Tua Tagovailoa that one, he was probably not going to win back the starting quarterback job, and two, he was he was graduating so he could grad transfer, he ends up picking Oklahoma, where, among other things, he had told Lincoln Riley, hey, coach, I'm going to win you a national championship. And we know how that ended, but what I wanted to focus on in that statement is his need to do it, his need to vindicate Lincoln Riley for believing in him and to show that he could do this elsewhere. Now, it took some time for Hurts to really ingratiate himself with OU fans, but always holding on to being Roll Tide first, and you get that. That's his alma mater. That's where he graduated. At Oklahoma, though, he had his best individual season of his entire career, not just leading Oklahoma to a 12-2 record, but also passing for over 3,600 yards and breaking the single-season quarterback rushing record at Oklahoma with over 1,300, nearly 1,300 yards rushing. Had two scores in the 63-28 drubbing in the Peach Bowl, went 15-31 for 217 with a pick. It wasn't a great performance by him, and yes, would have wanted it to go another way as a dude that roots for Oklahoma, but that LSU team was the best team of all time, period. And I made that video. If you want to fight me on it, you can go to that video and argue in the comments. However, Jim Nagy, who runs the Senior Bowl, did a very cool thing, right? Rather than make Jalen pick between wearing an Alabama helmet or an Oklahoma helmet, they came up with a helmet that was split down the middle. On one side, it shows the OU emblem. On the other side, it has crimson color that represents Alabama and the 2 that he wore at Alabama in that very particular block text. Now, I thought it was cool that Jalen was overjoyed by this because, yes, I think the dude finished at Oklahoma. Could have wore an Oklahoma helmet. I also would have probably rather that he just wore an Alabama helmet. But I get that this is not about me. It's not about you. It's not about us. It's about him. And Nagy doing a very cool thing for the man. Also, great publicity for the Senior Bowl because they are going to give him that helmet. And they're going to auction off another one for special spectators, which is the real joy here. So the Senior Bowl coming together to do some really cool stuff. It is going to be in Mobile this weekend. And among other things, we're talking about Jalen Hurts, who is going to be basically trying to have an argument to be the 4th quarterback taken off the board, as we expect Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, and about Justin Herbert. Okay, so Justin Herbert, the Senior Bowl. Jordan Love, who's a redshirt junior, also going to be in the Senior Bowl. Anthony Gordon, also going to be in the Senior Bowl. So maybe we're talking about the 3rd quarterback taken off the board. We'll have to wait and see. But what I'm getting at here is Anthony Gordon is looking like Gardner Minshew in that he broke all those records in the Pac-12. I mean, dude threw for 606 yards against Oregon State and had the passing record in the conference, breaking several records owned by Jared Goff, Jake Browning, and of course Gardner Minshew. and he might be a late round pick that could turn out to be what Minshew was at Jacksonville, where your starter gets hurt, and that dude put together statistically the best performance of any rookie in the league last year, and he's kind of a cult hero now with his Uncle Rico look. But what do you expect from a dude from Mississippi who ends up going to East Carolina and grad transferring to Washington State, also was a Heisman finalist, right? Now, when we talk about other dudes like Jordan Love, did not have the season that he wanted to have this year, but also he lost his head coach and his offensive coordinator to Texas Tech. We'll see what he can show. But this is also the part where I can tell you, one, Jalen Hurts needs to show out as a passer here because that's the knock on him. I've been knocking him on it for the entire year. I mean, Charleston Rambo runs a 4.3 40-yard dash, and Jalen Hurts would manage to overthrow him. There were some passes that I wanted to see him make. He held the ball a little too long. Stuff that they, as he said, left on the table. Money left on the table, right? However, it's also the point where I get to tell you in big bold letters, Jalen Hurts ran a 4.61 40-second, I said it again, 4.61 40-yard dash, okay? 4.61. For all the folks that want to tell me that he's got 4.4 speed, okay? No, 4.61. Now, add to this, Justin Herbert and Jordan Love both ran 4.68, and you're not going to call any one of those dudes runners, are ya? Now, we could see that, yes, with Hurts, you're getting more than you're getting than speed, than really athleticism, although that dude is ox strong. You're getting a classic leader. You're getting a classic football player. You're getting the kind of dude that you would want to build around, because even he was like, look, my college career went as well as it could have gone, and I wouldn't change anything about it. He's a team-first guy. He's going to be really old in the locker room as a really young cat. I mean, dude looks like he's 45 when he moves around. He talks in parables sometimes, and he doesn't really want to have a whole lot to say to the media, even as he seems to be a charismatic young man if he wants to be, right? So I'm really interested to see how he's going to look. Other notes in here, Neville Gallimore, an Oklahoma defensive tackle nose guard, is going to be at this thing. He's 302 pounds. He ran a 4.92 40-yard dash, which is stupid. For perspective here, Tyron Smith ran 4.95 at 312 pounds, and you see him out at tackle just chasing down people to block. He's stupid fast. Neville Gallimore has a chance to be a second-round pick. He might slide into the third round, but I think how he plays in the Senior Bowl is going to have a lot to do with this. Also, who is going to be the Jimmy Garoppolo in this thing, right? I say Jimmy Garoppolo because A.J. McCarron took bad advice and did not play in the Senior Bowl when he was eligible to play in it, and that made way for Eastern Illinois' Jimmy Garoppolo, who was coming off of winning the Walter Payton Award, which is given to the best FCS player that year, and breaking the FCS record for passing yards in a season. Hey, what's Jimmy Garoppolo doing? He's playing in a Super Bowl. He's got 2 Super Bowl rings. It's his third trip there. Or not his third trip there. It has an opportunity to be his third ring. That's pretty doggone good. So I'm really interested to see which one of these guys breaks out. Last year, Titus Howard at tackle was a hit. Which small school dude is actually going to be pretty decent this year? We'll see. I'm also very interested to see what Darnay Holmes looks like after dropping 4.36 seconds in the 40-yard dash. Stupid fast in a Senior Bowl where there's not a whole lot of speed to flash. A lot of guys need to show out, like Jonathan Grenard, who ran 4.84 seconds in the 40-yard dash, but has tremendous bend and has tremendous tools as a pass rusher. Another guy that I'm really interested to see show out be Hunter Bryant, coming off of Florida Atlantic and a Mackey Award, the top tight end in the country. He was on my fantasy team for a second there, and then I dropped him because I'm an idiot. But Harrison Bryant is another guy to keep your eyes on. I think he could be a mid-round pick, right? But also, he could be what Darren Williams was last year, right? He could absolutely be an outstanding player given the kind of system, like anything else, that he plays in. Last guy that I really want to watch in this Senior Bowl and show out, Van Jefferson. You need to show people something, because this is a deep wide receiver class with CeeDee Lamb and, yes, Justin Jefferson and, yes, Jerry Jeudy already being in this thing with T. Higgins and so forth, so on. Van Jefferson had a great season at Florida, but he would be in a first-round pick in a weak wide receiver draft. This ain't it, son. So he needs to go out there and show what he's about. Senior Bowl is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see all of these dudes play, and I'm happy to watch this thing with you. So tell me what you think, what you're wanting to see in the comments below. Deuces.